Hey everybody, it's Karen with Food and Family. I'm coming today just real quickly, kind of spur of the moment, to show you what I'm cooking. Do you have leftovers from Thanksgiving that you need to use up? If you don't, you've got to throw them out today. Well, I do. So I am making a ham pot pie. This is something that my husband likes. His mother used to make them for him when he was little, and he always liked it. So this is my shot at it. I've never made one, but I'm like, I can make a chicken pot pie, so it can't be hard to make a ham pot pie. So what I've done was I sauteed some onions, and then I added some diced ham from my leftover Thanksgiving ham, and sauteed that for just a moment. And then I added some flour and mixed it up to make my gravy. And then, believe it or not, we had leftover giblet gravy. I know I never have leftover gravy, so I thought, well, why not use that? So I threw that in. And that's got some eggs in it and some chicken and all that goodness from that gravy. So I threw that in there, and I used some chicken broth. Of course, you know, I used the low sodium chicken broth, no sodium when I can find it. All I did, I seasoned with salt and pepper, and that was it. So I added some diced potatoes, cooked diced potatoes a few minutes ago, if you can see those in there. So I'm going to let that simmer a minute. And then I'm going to throw in some mixed vegetables. I usually use these in vegetable soup, but today I'm going to put them in here. Why not? You put vegetables in pot pie, so why not use that? So I'm going to use at least a cup. I'm going to stir that in. Suspicion, I think I may use a little more. Now, if it gets, you want it thick. You want your mixture thick, because we're going to put this in a pie crust and bake it, but you don't want it so thick it's like paste. So I'm putting just a little bit of broth at a time till I get it to the consistency I want it, and then I'm going to put my vegetables in. So all of that is heated through, so I'm going to just, you can put your vegetables in frozen. They will thaw almost immediately. Excuse me, that was just a cup, and I think I'm going to put a few more. And so we can just, let's see if I can do this with one hand. Okay, that was maybe half a cup right there. So let's stir that in. Oh, that's looking good. You guys, I tasted this before I started adding all of it, just the gravy part, and it tastes so good with just me adding a little salt and pepper. But remember, I've got the flavor from the ham, I've got all that goodness from the giblet gravy I made. And when I say giblet gravy, I don't use the giblets. I just shred chicken up. Make your roux with a little, I use butter, and you can use a mixture of butter and oil. Put your flour, make you a roux, and I use chicken broth instead of milk, because I'm not making a milk gravy. I use chicken broth. Got it to the consistency I wanted when I make gravy like that. I make it on the thinner side, not, you don't want it runny, but a little on the thinner side. And then I add 2 or 3 boiled eggs. I chop them up according to how much gravy you're making. And that's it. Salt and pepper, you've got your giblet gravy. So, and I put that in there, and all these vegetables. Now I'm going to let that simmer a minute, and then I'm going to put it in this pie crust. I thawed 2 pie crusts. Now I put my pie crust, it's still in the shell. I use frozen store-bought. They're absolutely amazing, and saves time. I don't have to worry about trying to make a pie crust, I'm not the best at it. So I use store-bought. They're delicious. So I thought out two. So here's the second one. I took it out of the pan. There's the empty pan. And I let it thaw, and it's flattened out. It's not the prettiest, but you're going to put a vent hole in it anyway to let that steam come out. So after I pour all this goodness in that pie shell, and I don't think it's all going to fit, but you know, if it doesn't, that's quite all right. And then I'm going to cover it with the second pie crust, and I'm going to put it in the oven and bake it on 400 until the crust is brown. It's probably going to take about maybe 20 minutes or 25 minutes, and you can go by the directions on your package. And then we're going to have dinner tonight. This has taken me from the time I've gotten in and got started 15-20 minutes. Everything's cooked. The ham was cooked. The vegetables were frozen. The potato was cooked. All I had to do was dice it up. And, you know, the broth, you saw what I used. And that's it. So, I'm going to get this in my pan and get it baking in the oven. And maybe I can get back on here and show you what it looks like when it comes out. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye. Okay, so I'm back. I just wanted to show you real quick. I got the second pie crust on top, and actually it all fit. It's full, but it fit. And I've got it in this dish because I suspect it's going to boil over a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm just going to take my knife, make a few little slits in that beautiful crust, because you want it to vent. It lets all that steam out. You'll get a nice crust and all that ooey gooey goodness on the inside. So I'm going to pop it in the oven, get it to baking, and we'll see you after a while. Bye. Okay, I'm back. We've taken the pie out of the oven. So I just wanted you to see it before I cut into it. So, or we're going to dip into it rather. See is how it's bubbling around the edges. I don't know if you can actually see it bubbling, but it was bubbling and oh so pretty. So let's break into this, and I'm going to use my pot holder and hold this because it's hot. Oh, see that steam coming out? Let me turn that around so you can see it really good. Can you see that? Oh my goodness, y'all. Let's get in here. Let's get it out here on our plate. We'll dip some more. Look at all of that goodness here coming out. You see the ham, see all that ham we put in there, and the vegetables we put in. There's carrots and peas and some corn. Look at all that juice. That's that gravy we used. And remember, we used leftover gravy, our giblet gravy, and put in there. And so that's how I made my pot pie. So I hope you enjoy it. And we'll give it a try and use your leftovers up. So I appreciate you joining me this evening. See you soon. Thanks.